They're big, they're ugly. And they're hiding a terrifying secret. Giant king crabs are more than just seafood. They're the armored titans of the deep, lurking miles beneath icy waters. But here's the question. What does it actually take to catch one of these beasts? And what happens next once you know? You'll never look at your dinner plate the same way again. But first, did you know these crabs can regrow lost legs? Imagine battling predators and fishermen with that kind of superpower. Tell us in the comments if you've ever seen one up close. We'll be responding to your replies. But first, let me ask you something. Why are king crabs so dang popular? Well, giant king crabs, especially red king crabs, also known as perilous Kamchatkas, are prized for their sweet, tender meat, and he's during his battle with the Hydra, after Hercules crushed Carmino's underfoot. He replaced the crab among the stars as the constellation Cancer. So who knows, next time you look up at the night sky, you might just see the giant king crab, Carmino, staring back at you. But for now, let's take a closer look at how they're caught in the icy waters of the Bering Sea. This first stage in this process is catching king crabs. In the next stage, we'll have a little look at how they're processed in factories. But first, imagine this: freezing winds, towering waves, and a crew risking everything to bring up a catch that could make or break their entire season. This is the world of king crab fishing. It all starts on large fishing boats like this one, purpose-built for this demanding job. The main tool of the trade is the pot, a huge box-shaped trap to the icy ocean depths, in a straight line called a string, where the crew hope they come back up full of valuable crabs. This string method makes it easier to retrieve them later. The fishing season in Alaska runs from October to January, during the harshest months of the year. It's a narrow window, so every day counts. The pots are dropped to the ocean floor using something called a hydraulic crane system. Sometimes pots are lined up and prepared before being lowered, ensuring a smoother operation for the crew during high-intensity fishing moments. This crane, a lifeline for the crew, costs anywhere from $10,000 to $50,000. It's designed to handle the pot massive weight, even when they're loaded with crabs. Inside each pot is bait, usually herring or codfish, chosen for its strong smell to attract crabs. The pots rest on the seabed, silently luring the crabs inside from where they gather, at depths of 1, designed to hoist the massive pots efficiently from the ocean floor. Inside, hundreds of crabs crawl over each other. The crew works like clockwork, carefully bringing the pot aboard, leaning it against the boat's side, and each person on board knows their role. It's a delicate balancing act between safety and efficiency. Wouldn't you agree? Every crew member wears bright, fluorescent personal protective equipment, orange or yellow suits that stand out, even in dark or stormy weather. This is no fashion statement. It's for visibility, and visibility here can mean the difference between whether or not you see your family ever again without it. The crane operator might not see someone in harm's way. Add to that life jackets, gloves, and helmets, all working together to protect the crew from the dangers of the sea and the sharp edges of the crabs and equipment. They work in freezing temperatures, surrounded by slippery decks and heavy machinery, knowing one mistake could be the end of a large rolling bin or tray is brought over. This bin, mounted on wheels, is positioned right next to the pot. The pot side is opened and the crabs spill out. But it's not a smooth process. The crab's sharp legs and claws often get tangled in the mesh, and the crew has to shake the pot to free them. As the boat sways with the tide, the crabs in the bin slide back and forth, making it almost look like they're dancing. Yeah, I know. Occasionally some crabs escape the pots or trays, scuttling across the deck and adding an extra challenge for the crew to handle. Little do these critters know what horrors await them. Then comes the sorting. One crew member picks up the crabs, checking each one all dead, damaged female, or undersized crabs are tossed back into the ocean. Why? Well, fishing regulations set strict size limits to protect younger crabs and ensure the population stays healthy for future seasons. While the sorting happens, the pots are prepared for an The boats used for king crab fishing are nothing short of incredible. They range from 39 to 246 feet long or 12 to 75 meters, and are built to handle the brutal conditions of the Bering Sea. With powerful engines and hydraulic systems, these boats can stay afloat in rough waters. Inside there are sleeping quarters, kitchens, and storage areas, allowing the crew to stay at sea for days, or even weeks. Can you picture being out there, surrounded by nothing but icy waters and endless sky, with the success of your trip hanging on every pot you pull up? King crab fishing doesn't just happen in Alaska. It's also big in Russian waters and international waters too. Back on the boat, the crew is in constant motion. The empty pots are checked for damage, repaired if needed, and sent back into the water. The work is repetitive, yes, but it's also full of tension. This is where experience plays a vital X, and a crew battling the elements. The hydraulic crane is a vital piece of equipment. Without it, lifting the pots would be impossible. But these machines aren't foolproof. They need regular maintenance to keep working in the harsh saltwater environment. Think about it, if a crane breaks down, the entire operation can grind to a halt, costing the crew valuable time and money. Every part of this process is designed for maximum efficiency and safety. The bright PPE, the life jackets, the gloves, the careful handling of the pots, it all adds up to a system that works under some of the toughest conditions on Earth. The crew moves with a sense of urgency, knowing that the short fishing season gives them no time to waste. This is the life of a king crab fisherman. In reality, the Bering Sea is one of the most dangerous places to work, with freezing weather, rough waters, and unpredictable conditions. Yet these fishermen keep going. Once the large fishing vessel unloads, the crabs are carefully packed into cardboard boxes lined with plastic bags. These boxes protect the crabs during transit and keep them alive for what comes next. From here, they're loaded onto trucks and transported to processing plants, vast facilities designed to handle thousands of these sea creatures daily. Upon arrival, the boxes are unloaded and workers get to it, opening each box to reveal the still living crabs. It's a surreal sight. The crabs, sluggish at first, burst into action once the plastic is peeled back. Workers clad in white personal protective equipment, PPE, think durable white overalls, gloves, and hard hats, pick up the crabs, one in each hand, and place them in bins filled with circulating water. The water, typically chilled with ice and sometimes salted, serves multiple purposes. It helps to keep the crabs alive, reduces their stress levels by mimicking their natural working side by side. At this point, the crabs are no longer alive. The exact method of dispatching them can vary, depending on the facility's standards and regulations, but it's generally performed using humane and efficient techniques. These often involve either immersing the crabs in boiling water to quickly kill and begin cooking them, or using high-pressure stunning systems designed to render them unconscious instantly. Both methods aim to minimize suffering while maintaining the quality of the meat. Now begins the intricate task of separating the crabs into their usable parts. Workers handle sections of the crabs, typically the legs, which are trimmed with sharp automated machines. These machines slice away rough edges to make handling safer during later stages. In another section of the factory, you'll find workers wielding large shears or knives. With precision and speed, they separate the legs, connected to a pulley system which hoists them into large vats of liquid. The liquid in these vats is typically a cold, saline solution used to clean the legs thoroughly and remove any remaining debris or contaminants. The salt water not only ensures cleanliness, but may also serve to preserve the natural texture and flavor of the crab meat before further processing. The trays are dumped repeatedly in these vats, with one particularly large vat bubbling like a pot on the stove. This stage might also involve cooking or sterilizing, although the specifics depend on the factory's protocol. After their dunking session, the trays are moved to the packaging area. Here, the legs are removed from the trays and placed in the plastic bags. Workers make sure the legs remain neatly organized as they're sealed within the bags. Then each bag is fitted into a cardboard box. The boxes are taped shut using automated machines, branded with the company's logo. 5 most intriguing and lesser known fun facts about king crabs. Are you ready? Let's go. Ever noticed how some people are left-handed and others are right-handed? King crabs are no different. They can be left or right-clawed. Their cruciate claw, the big beefy one, is used to smash open hard prey like clams and snails, while the smaller cutter claw handles finesse jobs, like tearing softer foods into bite-sized pieces. But here's the crazy part. Their dominant claw isn't set in stone. Over time it can switch sides, depending on how they use their claws, making them nature's ultimate multitaskers. Okay, that was cool, but this next fact is even better. Imagine walking into a restaurant and smelling the food through your feet. That's life for a king crab. Their legs are covered. Crabs are famous for their awkward sideways shuffle, but king crabs are a breed apart. Sure, they can move sideways, like any self-respecting crustacean, but they also have the rare ability to walk forward and backward. Why? Well, their extra long legs give them more range of motion, making them the ultimate ocean floor navigators. This isn't just a party trick though, it's survival whether they're squeezing through narrow, rocky crevices or fleeing a predator. Their directional freedom gives them an edge over other species. Think of them as the SUVs of the crab world, while other crabs are stuck in reverse. Think you've got a lot on your plate? Female king crabs put us all to shame. They carry up to 500,000 eggs at a time. These eggs are tucked neatly under their abdominal flap, where the female diligently fans and aerates them for months. If you thought molting was just about shedding a crusty old shell, king crabs are here to blow your mind. When these crabs molt, they don't just shed their exoskeleton, they shed parts of their internal organs, including the lining of their stomachs and parts of their gills. This process is their way of upgrading to a bigger body, but it's not without risk. After molting, their new shell is soft, leaving them vulnerable to predators until it hardens. They can even regrow lost legs during the process, making molting their version of a full-body repair shop. It's extreme body maintenance, and they've mastered it like no other. Bonus fact: surprise. Despite their name, king crabs aren't true crabs. They're more closely related to hermit crabs. Biologists classify them as part of the superfamily Lithotidae, whereas true crabs belong to the Brachiopoda. King hermit doesn't have quite the same ring to it though. Now, here's a question. What would you do if you stepped on a king crab's claw? Comment below, I'm curious to hear your response. So now, you know exactly how giant king crabs are caught and made. And since you're already here, you might as well check out our other videos. The last video we posted might shock you.